Thank you. Thank you. It's awesome. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
All right, you're doing yeah.
Yeah.
Some of you are doing woo. I'm doing ow myself, I feel you. All right. We'll get some real feeling descriptions in there later. But I want to ask you guys a question here. There's something that my friends do that bothers me, and I think your friends do it too. When they tell stories, do they tend to give everyone in that story a retarded voice? Every one of my friends does that whenever they're telling a story. Every time. They'll be like, oh, I was over at Mike's house and he was being such a dick the other night. I'll be like, why? What was he doing? And they were like, oh, he was just sitting around saying, oh, you guys are being too loud. You should go home. You're going to wake up my mom. Like, when the hell did Mike start talking like that? He suffered massive head trauma that I don't know about? And people do the same thing with a girl's voice, too. That's hilarious when they do that. They'll be telling a story. They'll be like, man, I was 1 minute late to work, right? 1 minute. And then right in front of my manager, that bitch Jill that I work with had to come by and be like, well, it's about time you showed up. I'm like, is Jill a goblin or something? Where do you work, an enchanted forest? I don't like when people tell sex stories either. I don't like that. I'm not up for telling sex stories at all because people start exaggerating when they get in groups telling sex stories. Everyone gets insecure and they feel like they need to top something. They'll hear like, oh, you had sex on an airplane before? Well, I had sex on a hang glider. Oh, you had sex for 4 hours straight. You know what? I once banged a chick for 5 days. We had to go to the hospital after. And then we had sex again in the hospital. And the nurses were filming it. Yeah, you know what? I really believe your story. You know what I think you should do for an encore is go fuck yourself. That would be a good story. I should tell you guys a little about myself. I'm an out-of-towner. I'm from Michigan. If you don't know Michigan, it's the easiest state in the world to find because it's shaped like a hand, right? Everybody knows that about it. But I don't like Michigan, and I'm glad to be gone, and I'll tell you why. I know why it's shaped like a hand. Michigan is shaped like a hand because it's a warning from God. That's why. It's got terrible weather. Think about it. It's terrible weather. It's always cold, right? And if God had a spot when he created the earth where he didn't want anyone to live, how would he let them know this? How could I let them know? What's a sign I could give them? Oh, I know. This land is forsaken. And then just to make sure we got that message, he pissed everywhere around it, and that's how we got what we call the Great Lakes. It's a solid theory. Messages are everywhere if you know where to look. Why do you think Florida is shaped like a dick? To remind us to go down, to head south where it's warm, right?
That was criminals.
It's a thinker, isn't it? Yeah. I hear the laughter coming after. All right. That's right. You're going to laugh in the car on the way home, too, I bet. You're just getting to the Michigan part. The Florida part's going to kick in later. Awesome. I got another question for you guys. When you were little and your dad sneezed, did it scare the shit out of you? When my dad sneezed, it scared the hell out of me. It sounded kind of like someone was raping a banshee. Which, by the little side note, I think that's the only time rape is okay, when it's done to a banshee. Because banshees have like hair made of fire, they scream all night, and they eat souls. So I don't think anyone's going to care if you rape one. But just so we're clear, the only candidate I think is okay for rape is banshees. And possibly dragons, because they're always causing problems. But, anyway, moving along to my dad. He'd sneeze, right? Just awful sneeze. I would run under the table or wherever I could get with my brother. I'd be shaking. I'd be like, I don't know whether to say bless you or the power of Christ compels you. I look over, my brother's just a skeleton. Oh, boy. How you guys feeling? You feeling good?
Yeah.
You guys having some drinks tonight? Yeah? Awesome. Do me a favor the next time you're at a bar or anywhere where you're getting drinks, and don't order the crazy name drinks. I don't know who's coming up with the new drink names. I don't know if it's bartenders or sex offenders, but it needs to stop. It started off innocently enough, right, with like stuff like redheaded sluts or pucker fuckers, but they've just gotten worse and worse. And I heard somebody order a crazy, sickening drink. I felt like I needed a shower after I heard the name of this drink at a bar the other night. Somebody's like, excuse me, we're celebrating over here. Can we please get a round of bisexual dominatrix midgets doing a dirty Sanchez and a pile of KY jelly on the bathroom floor of a rest stop off the highway? Because those are tasty. That's what those are. But don't put lime in it, because that's disgusting. Yeah, we'll get a round of those, and then we'll go get an AIDS test after. It'll be a fun night. I enjoy that joke too. That's why you can enjoy your own jokes. But I actually had a run-in with the law a little while ago, about a month ago, and it was good that I didn't get taken to jail, but I almost did for the stupidest thing ever, for reckless driving. And I think that's the stupidest charge you could ever get when you look at the English language. Because, I mean, think about it. If homeless means you don't have any homes, and fearless means you don't have any fear, shouldn't reckless mean you don't have any wrecks? And I thought that was a good thing when you were driving, not to have any fucking wrecks. He didn't see it that way. He was telling me this is a one-way street. He says, you can only drive one direction down this street. I said, well, you can only drive one direction down any street. It would sort of seem to defy physics to go two directions down one street. Yeah, I know, and he was picking apart everything I was doing, too. He was just looking at everything he could to yell at me, right? He was like saying, I don't like the little gangster lean you're doing when you drive either. You should only hold the wheel at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And I was like, officer, please, I hold the wheel whenever I'm driving. I don't care what time of day it is. 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Who's reckless now? I don't know, though. I have some friends that make me wonder if I should even be friends with them, because they have way too much free time on their hands, and they do some things that kind of scare me. I have a friend that comes up with home remedies. He doesn't like medicine. He doesn't like going to the doctor or anything like that. He's always got these crazy alternatives. You tell him, oh man, I got a stomach ache. Do you have any Pepto-Bismol? He's like, no, you don't want to take that. Just snort some powdered milk and put some Tabasco sauce in your ears. You'll be fine. Okay. He's got things for everything too, like to prevent stuff too. Like he'll be like, oh, you're going to the park? Yeah. Well, why don't you bathe in Thousand Island dressing? You'll be impervious to bee stings. How did you get that much Thousand Island dressing? You'd have to clean out 2 Costco's to do that. And it's crazy too. He'll tell you the weirdest stuff. He'll be like, yeah, eat 3 buffalo testicles and sleep hanging upside down. You'll do better on history tests. I'm like, dude, first of all, where did you find a 3-balled buffalo? And second of all, you're not even in school anymore. Come on. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I'm Shane Zimmermann. Have a good night. Thank you very much.